Robert MacNeil, what was the atmosphere like in Dallas that day, half a century ago?
Well, at first, it was delightful. It was a lovely sunny day, and the Kennedys came out of Air Force One resplendent, especially Mrs. Kennedy, in that strawberry ice cream pink suit, with her hair glossy and glowing in the bright sunshine, and with a bunch of blood red roses pressed up against her. I was close enough to Mrs. Kennedy that I could look over her shoulder and saw a hand come through the fence and break off one of the roses she was carrying. Up till then, and through the outskirts of Dallas, crowds so thick and so milling out into the street that from the first seat of the press bus, I could see over the other cars in between. It looked as though the street would be too crowded, like a river that's broken its banks for the motorcade to get through. That was the atmosphere until we turned the corner into Dealey Plaza.
Now, you were on the press bus. What happened next?
There was a bang, and we all said to each other, "What was that? Was that a shot?" And we had time for that exchange, and then there were two bangs close together. And I said, "Those are shots. Stop the bus." And then I thought I better find a phone. And the first building that came to that looked as though it might have a telephone was the Texas School Book Depository. I ran up the steps, and as I did, a young man in shirt sleeves came out, and I said, "Where's their phone?" And he said, "You better ask inside." And I did. I did a bulletin about the shots being fired, people screaming, and the people lying down on the grass, covering their children with the bodies, people chasing up this grassy knoll and saying it is not known if the shots were directed at the president. Anyway, I ran outside, and a policeman stopped me, and as he did, a little black boy said to us, "Mister, I've seen a man with a gun right up in the window there." And another man came up and said, "Yes, a man with a gun up there." And a woman ran up and said, "He wasn't hurt, was he?" And the policeman said, "Yes, ma'am, he was hurt bad." And then I learned that he'd been hit in the head and taken to Parkland Hospital.
Did you meet Lee Harvey Oswald, the assassin, that day?
I don't know. William Manchester insists that I did, and he quotes Oswald as mistaking me for a Secret Service man. Apparently Oswald had told the Secret Service that. I couldn't confirm it to Manchester when he talked to me about it. And in fact, at the Museum of the Assassination in Dallas, they believe it was someone else who Oswald spoke to. I can't prove it. It's titillating to think that I might have asked him for the phone.
What impact did covering the assassination have on you personally?
During the funeral, I was standing at the grassy knoll with a film crew, and we were filming the reactions of people who'd come to look at the few flowers and notes that were left there, the beginnings of a shrine. And as we did, an elderly man came along with a transistor radio and sat down beside us. And at that moment, the Black Watch Highland Pipe Regiment band passed the microphones in the parade in Washington. And the sound of the bagpipes suddenly did something to me, and I was flooded with tears, actually sobbing there.
Robert MacNeil, thank you so much for joining us with those recollections.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.